But as soon as you get an idea, train yourself to do it. Immediate?
Action.
Action. You need to learn to inoculate yourself against judgment. Right? It's not about having the perfect plan. It's about starting. You're so worried about the perfect plan that you never do anything. This is the greatest thing of all time.
Advice for kids who want to be entrepreneurs?
This is the greatest thing of all time. Start. Yeah, like, here's the thing. One of the best things you can do is as soon as you get an idea, you do it. Like, for all of you. That's one of the most important things that I want to teach you guys here. If that's the only thing you get leaving this event, is as soon as you get an idea, do it. I wish I could do it. What if I could do it? Right? Just find the smallest possible way to get started. Here's what we do. We think of an idea and it's amazing. And we're so pumped up for this idea. And then we start planning. Right? We plan and we plan and we plan and we think and we strategize. You go home and you plan some more, and then you wake up tomorrow and you're a different person. Right? Who laughed at that? That was good. Thank you. Thanks, Dad. Yeah. Right? Like, you wake up tomorrow a different person. Here's the thing. I believe that the decisions you make when you are feeling bold, unstoppable, and confident are the right ones for you. And then you spend the rest of your life talking yourself down from those things. You wake up tomorrow a different person. If you're here, if you're around entrepreneurs and you get all pumped up, you can feel the vibe and say, man, I want to go off and do that, that is actually the right thing for you. And then tomorrow when you're back home, in your regular environment, and your head starts saying why you can't do it, you're going to spend the rest of your life talking yourself down from it. So while you have a foot still in that door of inspiration, motivation, you do it. You take action. You have to. And so as a young entrepreneur, it's, why did you come here? Like, you're trying to learn something here, you get an idea, I wish I could go sell a book, or sell lemonade, or sell what? Great, go off and try it and do it. Why am I here? So I'm here because on a warm summer day, last year, I was walking down the street and I passed a Starbucks and I was thinking about Nina. And Nina loves to travel. And I was starting to get over travel. Like, travel was starting to be too crazy for me. I wanted to just be home and crush my work. I decided I want to take Nina to every city in North America with 1 million+ people. I just decided. So right away then I had to take what? Immediate action. Right away. Immediate. Not think about, well, how she had a full-time job. Is she going to quit her job? How many cities are there in North America? How would we do it? That's what we default to. You default to planning. Right? You want to plan your way to 100. I call this the 2% difference. Instead of planning your way to 100, think about how you can execute on the first 2% right now. You're not allowed to leave that day without finishing the 2% to get to 100, even though you don't know how you're going to get to the rest of the 100. The 2% difference. And so I decided 5 seconds later that I'm going to take Nina to Boston this weekend. It was a Wednesday. We were going to leave Friday for Boston because she hadn't been there yet. How am I going to get to all the other 49 cities with 1 million+ people? I don't know. But I can hit Boston this weekend. While I'm feeling bold, because this warm summer day is hitting me, I'm feeling alive. There's spirit in me. I'm thinking about my wife and how much I love her, and I say, I want to take her here, and I want to do this thing. Tomorrow I'll wake up a different person. So you have to take immediate action in that moment. It's one of the most important things that I can pass on to you. If you take from this and that's it, and you walk out right now and you're going to go do that, you're set. As soon as you get an idea, trust that that idea comes from somewhere. Stop judging the idea and go and take action. So we're going to go to Boston. I thought Boston was the closest city to us. It wasn't. My plan was wrong. Pittsburgh was closer. And the Pittsburghers, they let me know about it when I went there on my tour. They said, Evan, we're like way closer than Boston to you. You could have saved 3 hours. I'm like, got it. But here's the thing. It's not about having the perfect plan. It's about starting. You're so worried about the perfect plan that you never do anything. So it's a 2% difference. So as soon as you come up with a goal, you think, what's the first thing I can do right now just to take one tiny step forward? So maybe it happens here. Maybe here you get inspired. Maybe here you start thinking about a future life for yourself. Maybe here you're coming away thinking, man, like this is more of what I want. I think I want to go off and be this person. Then you have to do something before you go to sleep tonight because you will wake up tomorrow a different person. The 2% difference, what does that look like for you? So I said, okay, I'm going to take you to Boston. That's the plan. Let's go to Boston. I Facebooked her and said, Nina, I've decided, she's at work, I'm going to take you to every city in North America with 1 million plus people. It's Wednesday today. On Friday, I'm going to pick you up from work and we're going to go to Boston. Okay. Great. Then I messaged Danny, and I messaged, he had a business partner, and I messaged them both, said, hey guys, Nina and I are going to go to Boston this weekend. Don't know what we're going to do yet, but you guys want to come and maybe film something? Yeah, okay. Great. Now we've got a plan to go to Boston. Now I've got to figure out what the heck am I going to do in Boston, right? But now you use your head to help you. You've decided from your heart, and you're using your head to help you instead of talking you down from doing it, right? So you don't need to wrap your head around it. You've got to wrap your heart around it, and then use your head to figure out the steps. So great, what's next? Okay, I got to email everybody on my list in Boston and say, hey guys, I'm coming to Boston. Who wants to do a coffee shop meetup? And 25 people so said yes. Great. A couple hours later, a couple people messaged me back and say, hey, you got to know this guy, Kit Pang. Kit Pang is in Boston. He runs a speaking group. Maybe you can speak there. Then I get a DM from Kit Pang who says, hey, Evan, I'd love to have you speak at my event. Great. So I pick up Nina from her work, and then we start driving to Boston. We get in at 2 in the morning. Next day we wake up. We do the entrepreneur meetup at a local coffee shop, the Thinking Cup. Was that what it was, Danny? Thinking Cup? And then I do the Kit Pang thing in the afternoon. The next day we explore Boston, clam chowder, harbor, all that stuff, because Nina wanted to travel. And then on the Monday we start driving home. It was the long weekend, July 4th long weekend. It's like, wow, that just happened. Like on Wednesday, I made this goal and said, then we're going to go to Boston, and here we are. Like, we did it. It was amazing, and now we're coming back. Like, that was pretty simple, right? The 2% difference. How do we get to 50 cities, 100%? I don't know. But we can start with the 2% difference. So now we're feeling pumped, like we're driving home. Man, that was so amazing. I can't believe it all worked out. Everything seemed to come together. We need to now do what? More action. More action. Because the decisions that you make when you're feeling bold and unstoppable are the best ones for you, and you will wake up tomorrow a different person. If we got back to Toronto and then fell back into our regular life, we'd go back to thinking like we were thinking back then. So we had to decide more action. And so the action was, okay, why don't we start 2019 with a tour? We did a tour. We hit 2% of the cities, one, Boston. What if we hit half? Like, let's start 2019 and hit half the cities on our list. Nina would have to quit her job to do it. And she said, okay, I'm going to quit my job. We're going to do it. I announced to my audience, some of you guys may have seen the video, the very first one. I said, hey guys, I'm going to do this thing. We're going to tour around, free coffee shop meetups. Let's go. It's going to be tons of fun. Immediate action. Then, November happens. I do a thing with Tony Robbins. So Tony and I have been working together, well, my team and him have been working together for the past 3.5 years. And finally, we got a collab to happen where Tony was going to come on my channel. I was going to interview him about his book and spend, 30 minutes together talking about his book. I was so pumped, right? Like, been working forever to get this thing to happen, and we finally made it happen. At the end of it, he says, Evan, thank you so much for the interview, showcasing me to your audience. I want you to come to my event in November, Unleash the Power Within, in New York. I want you to come as my guest, front row seats, and I want to meet you backstage after to thank you and talk quickly. Great, right? I wasn't planning on going to New York, but I am now, right? We're going to go. So immediate action, right? I don't even know what's happening in November, but I'm going to go to this thing. It's easy to say, well, I can't go because I got this, and right? No, go. I'll figure the rest out. Nothing else will be fatal, right? We think about the mistakes and like the worries and things that may not work. It won't be fatal. None of it will be fatal. You can come back from it. So I went, and my favorite thing to do when I travel is to meet up with Believe Nation, you guys. It's my favorite thing. Like, I could stay here in this hotel room this entire LA trip and just chat with you guys all day long. That's all I need. These guys want to see food and see the sights and everything else. This is my jam. So we partner up here, right? I get my day to do this, and we're going to go see food and everything else tomorrow. So when I went to New York, I said, I want to do a meetup the day before. Before I see Tony and his event and all that, we're going to do a meetup, just fans at a local coffee shop. And we did one in downtown Times Square, and we had so many people show up. We filled this giant coffee shop at the front, and people didn't have seats, and not everybody could hear me well, but it's this amazing group. And it was a full circle moment for me because the very first time I tried doing a meetup was in New York. Years ago, the very first time. I was in New York, Times Square, and I said, I wonder, would people show up if I did a meetup? Just free coffee shop meetup? And 6 people said they were going to come. Wow, that's wild. 6 people who watch my videos are going to show up and I'm going to get to see what they look like? Who watches my videos? This would be great. And over the days leading up to it, 5 of the 6 people canceled on me. Different reasons, too far, timing, whatever. But still one person, right? It's one person, it's okay, it's going to be great. It doesn't matter. One person, we'll have a great time. And so 1 o'clock comes, that's our meeting time. I'm sitting there in the Starbucks in Times Square. And I wonder, I look at his name and who could look like that? You're looking around he knew me, obviously, I hope so. Watches my channel, I'm wearing the Believe, Anyway, 1 o'clock comes and I don't see anybody coming to me. So I look at my phone and it says, he sent me an email and he said, sorry man, I'm still an hour and a half out of the city. I'm not gonna be able to make it in. Maybe next time you come, right? So sad days, sitting there by myself, 0 people show up to my first thing. But I think that's actually good. I think you're supposed to suck at the start. You should suck at the start. Who said right? I love that. I had this woman, where was it, Nina? In Albuquerque? Was the best. Was saying right and amen to everything I was saying. It made me feel so good. And she said oh, sorry. No, I love that. That's great. Yeah?
But at that time, how big was your channel and crowd and all that kind of stuff at that time when you experienced that?
Probably 5,000 subscribers. Not a lot. Not a lot. Small channel. But 6 people in New York. I figured in New York there should be enough people to get somebody to show up, right? New York, LA, a big city, there's got to be some people here who would come for a free thing at a Starbucks, right? So anyway, full circle now, it was great that so many people showed up to the New York one. It was great, made me feel happy. And just knowing that, yes, you're supposed to suck at the start. If you try something and you don't suck at it, you should have started 3 years ago. For anybody here who wants to make YouTube videos, you will suck on your first video. You just will. It'll be embarrassing. You'll press play and you won't even record, you won't even know what to say. You're great talking to clients and people one-on-one, but then as soon as the camera comes on you, you freeze up, right? You might choke or, right? Great. You're going to suck. You're supposed to suck. If you get on a skateboard, you're not going to just be able to go unless you learn how to skateboard earlier on. And so that's a really hard moment for people because you might be a great entrepreneur. You might have great ideas. You might be a great salesperson, a great businesswoman. And then as soon as you press record, you suck. And you feel you shouldn't suck because you're so great. But it's just a different skill. It doesn't mean you suck as a human. It just means you don't have the skill yet. You haven't developed it. So I think you're supposed to suck at the beginning. That's okay. And with practice, you'll get better and you'll improve. And then you'll win. You can go back on my channel and watch. If you guys have, whoever's OG here and has been for years, Daniel and probably some others, you go back and watch my first videos. I'm in a suit, I'm in a tie, I'm sitting down, I'm super nervous, I'm sweating, had more hair, I'm trying to look up to the left to memorize my lines. It was brutal, really, really bad. But I keep all that up because it's the journey. You guys can go back and see how much I sucked at the beginning of this journey. I think it's good. And I think I learned slower than a lot of you guys. Right? I'm naturally an introvert. Doesn't seem like that here, but I'm naturally an introvert. I don't like the spotlight on me. This is awkward and nervous, for me. I'm nervous coming here still. But that's why when you have your purpose and your mission, it gives you the strength to do the thing that you're afraid to go off and do. I think most of you are way more charismatic. Daniel's super charismatic, talented, right? Like he could get to what I'm doing much faster than the 6,000 videos it took me to get there, right? But with practice and repetition, you get better. So I sucked in New York, then we had this great event. I'm feeling high, I'm amazing. And then I go meet my agent. And so Daniel and I have the same agent in New York. His name is Steve. And I walk out of that room into Steve's room, and he says, Evan, you suck. I'm like, I just had this great event, full circle moment. I'm feeling amazing. Evan, you suck. I'm like, okay, great, Steve. Tell me, why do I suck? What do you want to tell me about why I suck? And it's actually an inside joke between us because I like telling people to tell me that I suck. So if I'm going to a YouTube event or an entrepreneur conference or something, I want someone to tell me that I suck at something because then I can get better. And I'll lead with, tell me I'm an idiot. Tell me I'm like the biggest idiot of all time with how to do my thumbnails. Great. Because I want to give them permission to be hard on me. When you do that, you give them permission to be hard, to say what's actually on their mind. Because otherwise, if I don't say that, they'll couch it. They won't tell you the full truth. They're thinking something, but they don't want to tell you because they want to be soft and gentle. Right? Say, oh, I love your thumbnails. But really, if you did these things, you probably, right? Tell me I suck, man. Tell me I'm the biggest idiot on the planet with my thumbnails. Right? Not personally as a human, just with one of my skill sets. And then the answer always back is, well, you don't suck, but if you did these three things, like, great. So I walk into my agent Steve's office, and he says, Evan, you suck. Great. Tell me why I suck. He said, you're doing this 90-day tour, 23 cities. It's a quarter of the year on the road. And for most people, that's a big risk. That's scary. For your wife, it's scary. She's got to leave her job to go do this. What's she going to go back to? I don't know. But for you, it's actually inside your comfort zone. This is easy for you. You'll just have fun along the way. But it's not a big risk. I said, you're right. Okay, great, Evan. You need to charge for the event. Like, oh. I don't want to charge for the event. I'm happy charging like big corporations, publishing companies, but entrepreneurs, because it's still so core, I still remember, like, I wouldn't be able to afford doing this when I was getting started, right? Like, I had $20 a month for my discretionary budget to do stuff, so I wouldn't be able to be here. And so that's still a pain point for me. But I got challenged. So what do I need to do? Immediate action, right? Because I'll wake up tomorrow a different person. Because I'll wake up tomorrow and I'll go see Tony Robbins and it'll be some crazy other thing that's now infecting my head. And I'll say, Steve doesn't know what he's talking. Screw that guy, right? I'll wake up tomorrow a different person and logic my way out of that emotion I was feeling. So I had to do it. Now, I already had a free video on my channel saying, hey, this is going to be free at coffee shops. And now I had to reverse course and say, sorry guys, we're changing it up, and give the whole story behind it to then make it a paid event. And that's why we're here. And so from that warm summer day where I just decided that I love my wife, it's a beautiful day, I want to take her to every city in North America with 1 million+ people, to then going to Boston that weekend, to then that weekend in Boston leading to a tour, to then the thing with Tony Robbins and my agent leading to a paid tour, to now, well, here I am in Los Angeles meeting you guys. Every step along the way is immediate action. When you're feeling bold, confident, you get challenged, you just go off and do the thing and stop judging the idea. Believe the idea comes from somewhere and just try it. Just do it. The next time you get an idea, don't judge it. Just find some small way to get started on it. And you practice it. So I get ideas in the shower. You guys get ideas in the shower? Yeah? I don't know why we get so many ideas in the shower. It's our like relaxed time. The water's so warm. Yeah, I take 20-minute showers. Some people are like in and out super quick. I like my nice, long, hot shower to think. When I'm in the shower, I often think about people, right? I think about, it might be my wife, but it might be some friend that I haven't talked to in 14 years. It might be Leo. Like, Leo I met in, where did we meet? Palm Springs last year? Was it last year? 9 months ago. Great. I might be thinking about Leo. Why am I thinking about Leo? I don't know. I don't judge the idea. I just trust that it comes from somewhere and I got to do something about it. And then I'll lean in on the awkwardness. So I'll email Leo and say, hey, Leo, I was thinking about you in the shower today. Yeah, that's the lead. Lots of people who have known me have gotten an email like that. Yeah. And then it'll lead with whatever. And it often doesn't make sense. Like, I know this is coming out of nowhere. I haven't talked to you in 9 months. But you were on my mind today in the shower. And I hope you're doing okay. What's up? And it's always been, it's never been a negative experience. It's always been positive. Sometimes it leads to some crazy new opening. And sometimes it's just another chance to reconnect. But as soon as you get an idea, train yourself to do it. Idea, action, idea, action, idea, action. Immediately. So that's what I would do as a young entrepreneur. Full circle all the way around. But you get an idea to do something. I want to start a business to do dog walking or dog sitting. Great. Like this weekend. Tomorrow. Call everybody you know who has a dog and say, hey, if you need anybody to look after your dog next week or next weekend, wouldn't you like to get away next weekend and leave your dog at home? Right? I'm your girl. And just try it once and just see. Right? We're so worried about making the perfect business plan that we end up doing nothing.
How do you structure your day to be productive while working from home? I tend to avoid, or I have an idea, I want to do this, and then,
What gets in your way?
my own thoughts of wondering how other people are going to perceive the information or take me as an expert in a permanent makeup field that I am in.
So it's not about structuring your day, it's about judgment.
Okay.
You need to learn to inoculate yourself against judgment. Whenever you are making decisions because of your fear of somebody else's opinion, you lose. For life, you'll lose. And then you'll sit there at the end of your life saying, I should have been a great makeup artist.
Yeah, permanent makeup artist.
What's a permanent makeup artist?
Face tattoos, like
Oh.
yeah, makeup tattoos.
Oh, like eyebrows and stuff? Or like Mike Tyson, did he get something like that? Is that what you would do?
Whatever you want.
Is that what you would do? Like, would you do Mike Tyson? No? Because it's not beauty, it's a tattoo,
Right, that's body art versus cosmetics.
which is like eyebrows.
Eyebrows.
Or lips?
Yeah.
See, I don't know this. I'm not from LA. What are you doing on lips? You're like making it darker?
A lighter, like.
Oh, lighter.
Like a little pale, you can blush them up. Yeah, little things.
Wow, that's wild. And how long does that last? Forever?
It will last forever. but
Okay.
Annual touch-ups.
Annual touch-ups. Great. I'm learning new stuff every stop I go. It's amazing. So it's about judgment. So whenever you feel the eyes of judgment on you, in my view, you have to go off and do that thing. Even if it's not an expression of yourself. Just to eat the judgment. Because as long as you're ruled by other people's judgments, you're screwed. So there's a couple ways around it. The first is regret. So you think about, you're 100 years old, you're still doing the job that you're doing right now. You never did it. You never became the makeup, beauty, tattooist. If I said it wrong, it doesn't matter. It's the best. Right? You never did it. You never did it. You never did it. You played small your whole life, and now it's too late. Now it's too late. Like, you're on a rocking chair, you're 95, it's too late. And then bring it back to now, you can actually still do something. Like, there's still time. And so use regret to make it more painful. So imagine if you have a hangnail. It hurts. It sucks. No. Punch yourself in the arm. You don't feel the hangnail anymore. Right? So it's not be fearless. At least for me, it's not be fearless. It's feel the fear and do it anyway because you've made the future fear so much bigger. If you actually got to 95 and you never did this thing, you would hate your life. You would hate your life. You would be toxic and poisonous like for the rest. If you got to like 60 and never did it, the last 4 decades of your life would be the worst of all time. You'd be living in misery and toxicity and regret and negativity for those 4 decades. But you're here now. In 2019, you're not out there. And so you have to make that so painful because that's what's coming if you don't do the thing. Why? Because you were worried that your parents would say something about you or like your friends would.
Or other artists.
Great.
Would, really critique my information.
Yeah, and say you suck. Like,
Yeah.
That lip ring or that lip like,
Tell me I suck.
yeah,
Let me get used to this.
that's part of it, legit. And it's understanding that you don't suck as a human, it's that you're developing the skills to do it. So you use regret, you make it a bigger pain, and that forces you to actually move forward into this current pain. Now, I like using negativity in micro doses because it's really powerful, but you don't want to live there. So every superhero has a dark side, but you can't live in the dark side or you're toxic and screwed for life. So you don't want to walk around every moment of every day feeling regret. That sucks. But to use it for 5 seconds to get you through that short-term pain of fear of judgment can be helpful. So anytime you're afraid to do something, just fast forward to 95 years old on your rocking chair and looking back and say, I didn't do this because I was worried about some other artist who I don't know posting something on Instagram about me. And therefore I hated my life for the rest of my life because of that person, right? It sounds silly, but it's now feel the pain of that and take action on it. So that's the first part, regret. The second part is, and this is where I get weird duck. So again, you take what you want and write off the rest as Evan's a cuckoo bird. But I like attacking judgment. As soon as I feel judged for something or potentially judged, then I have to go do the thing just because. Just because.
Now you gotta do it.
Now I have to do it. Yeah, of course. Now you have to do it. At least for me, I have to do it. So here's an example. I own a dance school in Toronto. That's how I met my wife. Bachata dancing. It's bachata and salsa. It's the largest, she's excited there. Largest dance school for salsa bachata in Canada, maybe North America. 5,000-6,000 students a year had to dance. So my dance team won a local dance competition. So I took them to a nail spa. And I said, okay, it was mostly women, so great, get our nails done. And then one of the women said, hey, Evan, you're going to get your nails done too. Like, no, I can't do that. That's not an expression of me, right? Which is actually the only real answer that could be true. But what? What's happening in my mind? What's happening? Judgment, right? I'm afraid. I'm afraid. In my head, I'm calculating, how long does nail polish last? Like 2 weeks? 3 weeks? What do I have in the next 2-3 weeks? Right? I've got to make 20-something videos a week, right? So if it's 2 weeks, that's 40 videos on my channel at least. Plus I've got meetings, presentations, workshops, meeting CEOs, like a bunch of stuff happening in those 2 weeks. But if you think about it, those 40 videos that I would make, I don't have the time to explain why I have nail polish on. And for some of you, people watching, that'd be the very first video that they would see of me. Is this dude talking about Art Williams with nail polish on. Right? 80% of my views on videos are from non-subscribers, which is a healthy channel. That means you're growing. For any of you YouTubers out there who want to grow, you need a huge chunk of your views to be non-subscribers, otherwise your channel is going to die. So for a lot of the people watching those 40 videos, that's their only exposure to me. This dude with nail polish on. And so because that was part of the reason, then what did I have to do? You got to do it. I got to do it.
It's a niche.
What's what?
It's a niche.
It's a niche?
Yeah, there's no YouTuber talking about business with nail polish.
Oh, sure, but like I want to attack judgment, right? Like I just want to attack the judgment because I'm worried about it, so I have to do it. And so I get my nails done. Bright orange to match my logo. And then white racing stripes on it just because. Each nail. And then, did someone say nice? Was that heard of nice? And then ladies, I know what you go through because right away, I didn't want to touch anything. Don't want to ruin my nails. I quickly self-identified with the nail polish. It was a part of me, so now I have to protect it. I go to the car, and I asked my wife, Nina, to open the door for me, because and she's like, well, I got my nails done too, but you know what you're doing. And then I go to my building, the concierge to pick up a package, and I'm walking to him like this, right? So I said, what am I doing? Boom, right? This is part of it. I got to eat it. I got to own it. And then all of my lady friends loved it, and my guy friends thought I was crazy, but they're kind of used to it. I'm a weird duck. If you're around me, you'll know that for a while. But then what happened? Then it started to chip, right? It started to scratch. The first scratch is like, oh my God, can't believe it, stupid, stapler or whatever. But then it started happening everywhere. And then all my lady friends said what? Got to redo it or take it off. Evan, there's a thing called nail polish remover. It's great. It smells nasty, but you can take it off. But what was that? It was more judgment. It's more judgment, right? Now my lady friends were judging me. So what do I have to do? I got to keep it on all the way until it chips to 0. Yeah? Yep. See all the ooh? Yeah? I was walking around with looked like a spotted alien with these little orange chunks. Yeah, just because I want to eat that judgment. And so I'm a weird duck. I like attacking those things. Now, how does that relate to your business? It's the same thing. If you're afraid of judgment, you'll never take. If you guys have bold goals, like you're entrepreneurs, you have bold, ambitious goals for yourself, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. You're not here just to say, yeah, maybe I'll learn something, and I don't know, go on with my life and hate it. You want to do something. There's no way you accomplish those crazy big, bold goals of yours if you're afraid of an artist that you don't know critiquing your thing. You're going into the gym trying to lift 1,000 pounds, but you can't even lift a 5-pound dumbbell. And so this is the mental training. This is the mental training. I want to attack anything that makes me feel weak and judged for. I have to attack it.
So making these events happen is definitely a team effort, and I want to give a quick shout out to everybody who helped promote this event. And if you want to keep following us on our tour and see what happened in Las Vegas, it's fire. Go check the link right next to us. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.